So what this means, in time, Israel, okay, all that is outside of Israel, okay, the Coneheads, Michael Cohen, all the Scientology, Mason, all the garbage of the world, okay, everything that takes life from you, like your energy, your heart, everything, your soul. Over real quick. I have nothing against Mr. Peanut, as it says in Q. 42,000 people. As T-Pain, wearing a Wisconsin shirt, showed Mr. Peanut in a live stream. Search it up. T-Pain, the musician, was wearing a Wisconsin shirt, and he had on the TV in back of him, Mr. Peanut. This is what Q talks about, Mr. Peanut. Mr. Peanut's good. I'm just using him as an example, saying 43,000 people watch somebody play a video game, curse, swear, this and that. I don't care if he's doing what he's doing, what they're doing. I know why it's happening. This is just proof of what matters more in the world to all of you. All these people are good. They mean well. Do I agree with their language and what they're doing? They're making a living. Okay, they're making a living. Good. Do I agree with their language? No. Did I listen to music growing up with foul language? Yes. I deny myself because I come from a world of hell. Mitchell, witch hell. The first fall of heaven, hell. Witch hell. Giant hell. And that's this. The Coneheads of the Dead Sea Scrolls take this little scroll, the Dead Sea Scroll, okay? It'll be as sweet as honey, the land of milk and honey. So where's Sodom and Gomorrah? They're showing you, but you're pointing your fingers, not seeing that they are giving you the answer. You're more worried about pointing your finger and fault lines. Who's at fault for what's happening, and denying the answer because they're purposely putting the answer in front of you. They're putting the truth and the lie in front of you. You guys are choosing, you point your fingers and said, oh, I see what they're doing. Oh, okay. They're just making it easier to bring yourself closer to God, but you're causing war. Causing war here and causing war here. You want to know why I was named Rebecca? The land of beer, okay? These are all the drunkards, okay? So when it says the land of beer, these are all the drunkards who are literally drunk on the fornications of all of the world, of all the sexual immorality, all the disgusting filth, pointing your fingers. Rebecca, these are all the ones I rebuke ya. Rebecca, I rebuke ya. It's that simple. Everything's right here. So everything that God's rebuked, why should I worry about something God's rebuked? Why should I entertain something God's rebuked? I'd rather entertain a peanut cussing, swearing, and saying all the things that he says over entertaining what the world is entertaining. Because God's already said, I rebuke you. So why would I entertain what God's already said I rebuke? Yeah, these are all just the well of the oath. See all the pale horses. The pale horses. All the Steiners. All the pale Steiners. So all the people of the world on where all of this is getting funded from. The funding for all these. Yeah, all of it. I know where it's all coming from. It's in this book. Who's funding where all the Deuteronomies? Who's funding it and doing it for the money? They're putting their money in all the places of the world and doing this in the world. So if you want to know who's doing what and the names of the individuals, the exact names of the individuals in time told thousands of years ago in Genesis, I will not flood the world. Why? Because the world is being flooded with information right now. Yeah, only 23 people want to see, and that's fine. I'm just proving a point here. If I were Elon Musk talking about disgusting, filthy AI or artificial intelligence or anybody else in the world, if I was sitting here in a suit and tie, or if I was one of these puppets that they put out on the world stage, the Anthony Mitchells, this and that, then it would matter. Showing what they're not showing, but y'all are giving them your money, your attention. The true currency is your consciousness and your heart. You're giving them your this, thinking that this is going to buy your way into heaven. This is how you see the world in a way where it's, oh, I don't have to give my attention, my thought to the world. That because your thought to the world is what's creating the world around you, the good and bad, your thoughts. So the fallen angels, the Masons, all of it, they take your thoughts and they create the world around you. So when you rebuke the world, you're rebuking your own thoughts, because they created the world based on you and your internal thoughts and your world inside of your house, outside of your house, everything. Like me speaking about all this and showing all this. So all the Noah descendants, Eugene, you're right. Here, let's go here. Bet he'll beat hell. Jacob beats hell. Which hell? So all of the names. So this is 16. This is peace. I bet he'll beat hell with peace. B and you and I and you and I on I. We're all in each other. That's why they want to put a mark of the beast in you to control who's within you. Go back to Genesis in the beginning. Like my father's name, my father's last name's in Genesis. And it says, I know you. Do you remember me? That's what it says in here. And it says my father's last name in here. Patoni. So when I read this, I am reading from the beginning, meaning the Father, God, the true God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Do you remember? If you remember where you're at now, there's no difference between consciousness now and consciousness back then. That's why it's the old. Your consciousness wasn't aware. So you immediately put into terms of, okay, I'm gonna accept what they're saying and showing to me on the world stage, but consciousness has not changed in the sense of us then to us now. And what I mean by that is everything that we're going through now has been gone through then for us to go through it now in a way where we can break through those walls. They weren't allowed to be broken. Those walls weren't allowed to be broken through, and that's Moses not being able to bring everybody into the promised land. That's why it's MSOE, the engineering, because you're nearing the end. Engineering. That's why MSOE is engineering. So with Moses, the end is near. The end is right outside here. Here, I'm gonna show you. Even it says right in here, my father abandoned me and your mom, me and your ma, me my ma. In this, everything that is being spoken then is being spoken directly to everybody now, going through the life that you've lived up until this moment. So the words in this book of Genesis are in the Genesis, the genius of your own mind, going back in time from the time you were born, which is what? If God says, I'm going to flood the world in the beginning, he's going back to the beginning. So if you go back to your own consciousness of when you were young until now and everything you've gone through, everything that in this book that it's written, it's not just about me or the people I speak to. It's about all of you. But y'all are too busy entertaining the things that you just don't want to see it. You don't want, you want, it's almost like you guys want to keep going round and round and round and round and round and round in circles. You don't want to find your alignment and your reflection in the perfect harmony of heaven. You want to create your own consciousness of what heaven truly means. So this is what it means where it says, the old world, the world that you once knew, and heaven that you knew will pass away, because the heaven that you once knew, you never knew it. You never knew it because you're of the world. Once you're of the world has you. How can you know heavenly things if you're of the world? Deny yourself, deny the world, fast, walk through the deserts, fast. That doesn't mean fast from food, fast food. It means fast from the world. Okay, there's a peanut playing a video game. I'd rather watch a peanut play a video game than turn on politics, turn on anything else in this world. I'd rather watch a peanut play a video game and read the Bible. I'm fasting, so if I turn this off, I'm fasting from the world. This is food that is no fruit. There's no fruit in this. There's only what they're saying, meaning if it's a reflection, if they're living in a type of a reflection with me or with somebody else in the world that wants to get a message out to me, that's like a little bit of fruit. That's like Jacob and Esau making stew for their dad. That's like that's like Noah or Abraham being naked and his sons walking backwards. This is me like walking backwards in life. I'm walking backwards, not upside down, backwards. And I would be covering up the father who's getting drunk on all of this. That's what this story means. Islam? Come on. You really want to go there? You really want to go there? All it really means, who made who? A lie. What does that sound like? Who, Muhammad, who made who? These are just the owls, the night owls. These are all just plants in time. Those are just the lies of the world. I don't want to hear about your don't want to hear it. Who made who? A lie. Muhammad Ali. You want to keep going there? Take it up with people that I'm not entertaining it. I don't care about you predated this, predated that. I don't go by religion. Religion doesn't exist. Life in reflection and alignment. Islam is outside of the house of God. They create their own houses and their own temples so that they can detour you from your own reflection, your own alignment with the one true God of creation. So therefore, when they want you to be in their reflection, their alignment, that's Lucifer. If I'm telling you right now, the first fall of heaven was a thought before it was a spoken word. They are that thought outside of the house of God. And they are trying to create their image outside of the house of God so that you can be in the image outside of the house of God. So therefore, if all of the angels that follow Lucifer fell from heaven, they are the upside down world, the upside down false lamb. That's why the is on the left. The ice is. That's the ice. So all the ice, that's literally all of the things in the world that frees your consciousness from truly being in time. So these are all the Palestines, all the pale horses, all the, take this little scroll. It'll be sweet as honey, but it'll make you sick. Make you sick. Isaac. So if you go to Isaac, everything that makes you sick in this world and why all of these different places were created, like in Afghanistan, okay, that's drugs for poppy seeds, big poppy. So the war in Afghanistan was for drugs. The wars all over the world are for drugs. So all of the things that make you sick, Isaac, all the things that make you sick in this world, they are of Sheol, the shallow hells. All the shallow hells, they are a part of the pits. Islam is a part of the pit. They are the dark keys. If Middle Earth is speaking from your heart, when you go into a house of God and you have a podium in the middle of the church, that is the reflection of speaking. If the world is the body, I take this body and I break it off for you. I take this bread and I break it off for you. They don't give bread of life. They keep you abyss. ISIS. There's nothing in the abyss of 666, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pits in Sheol. This is a piano. The Sheol is a piano. The black keys, those are the black keys. So to be above Sheol is to be above in consciousness, and you are playing the tuning of your keys. You're tuning your mind, and you're speaking from your heart. Pi is the key to the mind of God. So if you're not tuning the keys in Sheol, you can't speak from Middle Earth. Why? Because you're in the pits. The pits, and they stink down there. So they want to keep you in the pits. Islam is in the pits. That's a ISIS. So Sheol, shallow hell. You guys watch a movie, Shallow Hell. They treat their individuals in their countries like crap. They treat each other like crap. So then when they are of war and they're treating people like crap, this is in time what it means to be a military simulator. So they use themselves as military simulators to basically be in cahoots with, these are the Michael Cohns of the world, the Baraks, selling information from the Dead Sea Scrolls, Jacob's Ladder, your DNA, your consciousness. So looking through the glass, looking glass is your eyes and your consciousness. They want it in on the money, Deuteronomy. So they wanted in on the money of seeing in time to build themselves up, as you see the United States build up, as you see all these other places outside of the United States who build these big cities up. They are looking through the glass of the eyes, consciousness, and creating the world around you, and they are keeping people in literally a loop, a hell loop, a Sheol, a hell loop. See, if this is Middle Earth, the pen, you are speaking from the middle. So if the 4,000 year plan of God, this represents Mary, the moon, Mary. Okay, Middle Earth is the heart. The heart is on the left, Mary's on the left. So that's Our Lady Queen of the Rockies. Mary's on the top, the first star. So therefore, all of what is here is the house of Mary in the darkness, the Shehols. So all the Shehols and all the dark keys, the black keys, is why there's a place called Black Keys. You are in the abyss, Plato's allegory. You're in the cave. So all around the world are the bat caves. So when Donald Trump came in and said, I'm the boss, see how that is right there? They made a table in the shape of my mother's rug. Okay? They throw it in your faces, and I'm just living my life. Literally just living my life. These are all, when he says, I'm the boss, who's the boss of the bat cave? This is why they hated him. This is why all the secret societies hate him. Michael Cohn selling secrets, or the Cohn heads. Michael Cohn, all the Cohn heads. So all of what you know in existence and what you're trying to put out there, this is what this means, and this is what that means. I'm telling you what it means, says directly in this. From the beginning of time until the end of time. So this is the pits in which everyone is stuck in. And when Donald Trump came in, I'm the boss. If he said he's Batman, where does Batman go into? A bat cave. Plato's allegory. So they are just part of Plato, making shadow puppets on the ceiling in time according to your life and your thoughts 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years ago, before any of us were born. So your thoughts that you have right now, 30 years ago, it was known what thoughts you would have, positive and negative. They used your thoughts that you weren't even born to have the thought yet, but they used the thoughts that they knew that you would have 30 years ago. That's what it means to look through the glass. So they create the world based on your thoughts. So when you end up finding your alignment, your reflection, your true reflection, you're pointing your finger out in the world, going around and around in circles, saying, hey, do you know why this predates this in religion and this and that? Do you know why your thoughts were used in time before you were born so that you would get to this moment? And this is where I say, hey, want to know why there's so many earthquakes as they're happening? Because of fault Mary and the cheeks. Mary's got marks on her cheeks because you're pointing your finger at fault. So if you reflection of the world, and you are the bread, which is bread, you are a reflection. So like when I say you go walk and there's a big stone, even if you go in the mountains and there's big stone, if you go to the ocean and there's big stone out in the ocean, you walk into your reflection. You are walking as the bread and being a reflection. Make these stones produce bread. Islam can't show this. That's why they send people on the world stage. All these individuals all over the world, they can't show this. I've shown this. That's why it says right here. Pi shown this. I'm in direct reflection and alignment with the beginning. I'm speaking from the beginning. Okay? So, pi is the key to the mind of God. I'm showing what it means to be in alignment or reflection. They don't want you to know this. That's why they deny you from seeing. They don't want you to continue. It's disgusting that the world you guys entertain. It truly is. So if you go, neck, and you truly want to know what it means to actually speak from your heart, you'll know what it means to act Middle Earth. Middle Earth, above Sheol. So these are the waters. Waters above, okay? The stars, hold the stars in your hand. The stars in his hand. So if the stars above are reflections of our body, and the stars in our hands represent the people and the fallen angels, the fallen stars, all the stars, the star in your hand, okay? The 7 stars are the 7 seals, and the 7 seals are... If you speak from the middle and the heart, you'll see it. But those who don't see, they only see here below. To see above does not mean to see in the sky. It doesn't mean to look up. It means to see consciousness above, outside of Plato's allegory. So Once you're here, you're understanding, oh, these are all the stars up on the world stage. So in Truman Show, when the light bulb falls and it says Sirius, that's Russia. That's Mother, Our Lady Queen of the Rockies, and Montana. I'm onto ya. That's why Montana was named to Montana. I'm onto ya. That's Russia. Are you serious? That's why the Joker says, "Why are you so serious? Are you serious?" Are the lights lighting the way from Sheol, the Dark Keys, and from the pits? So Abaddon is just the ruler. He was given a crown from heaven to keep the check. Well, that's why he came up to the world stage. Now, I'm not talking about ABBA. I'm talking about Abaddon. Abaddon is the ruler, the boss of the pits. Okay? So meaning the abyss, the pits, the abyss. He's cleaning house of the abyss, the pits. That's why they don't like him. That's why they're saying, you're part of Epstein, you're this and that. He was the one that was spying on everybody, getting intel on everybody and this and that. And that's why they all fear him. But he's only here to do one job and one job only. That's it. He was given a crown from heaven, not to be of heaven, not to be of hell, to do one job. Keep the pits in check. That's why the pits fear him all around the world. From the Rockies, Our Lady Queen of the Rockies, from the pits of the east, from the pits of the east to the west, from the pits of across the overseas, under the seas, all around the world. He is literally just here to keep the pits in check. So his one job, one and only job. That's it. And after Abaddon, the Christians are fighting Abaddon. You're fighting somebody who's given a crown to literally, that's why he brought up quantum. He's literally showing everybody everything. Okay? I don't care about Abaddon. I don't care about him. I don't not care about him. I'm saying here's baseline. Here's just sovereign. I have no thought of Abaddon. No thought. He's here to do one job and one job only. And once that job is done, he's job well done. Now, after Abaddon, you guys are going to have to deal with what? The Antichrist, the Mark of the Beast, learning how to live life. Why? Because you're fighting your own selves. You're fighting your own selves. That's why they don't want me speaking. They don't want me talking. That's why they deny my Twitter handle to all of you. Like I said, if I was wearing a suit and tie and I was up here with an entourage of people like these people, I am a descendant from this, that, and the other of the great Muhammad, and this and that, people would entertain it all. They would be speaking about all of it. But just somebody sitting in mama's house, big mama's house, no. That's how you know this world is where it's at. So going through all that I'm going through, I shouldn't be even showing this, to be honest. I shouldn't be. I'm just speaking to people who aren't alive. You guys aren't alive. You see, but you don't see. You hear, but you don't hear. I could say, hey, here's my father's name. They spelled out my father's name thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago of what it meant then for now. And all of my life is detailed out here and here. And my life is mapped out here. Here's your life. Here's what your Bible chapter means. Here's what your Bible chapter means. Here's where you're at in your life or your Bible chapter. They don't want me to show you this. And quite frankly, you all get what you deserve. Seriously. You asked for all of this. You deny people who are giving the truth. And you entertain people who are just doing it for the money. Deuteronomy. Oh, by the way, Job, Jay left, Bob, Joyce right. Joy. I left Bob right. I don't care about Bob. Bob is just another... I'm just somebody who cherishes that. I cherish all this. I cherish this in a way where other people are trying to take that from me. They rather try to keep distracting somebody like me, like, are you ready to walk right in the dark? I've been walking right in the dark for longer than people want to give me credit for, and I don't want your pats on the back, and I don't care. You're not going to say, are you ready to do this? Because if you have to ask me, that's a trap. If you have to ask me about something, it's a trap. I already know you're not real and you're not of my heart. It's that simple. And you never will be. Right now I'm in Exodus. Because I'm exiting all this. So if you go here, Wisconsin ain't dying. I'm not dying. No matter how much you want to try to throw your garbage in my face, are you ready to do this? Are you ready to do that? Are you going to walk right? You're never going to be of my heart. And I don't want anything to do with you. It's that simple. Because in the beginning, Wisconsin ain't dying in the end. That's why MSOE in Milwaukee, Wisconsin is Moses. Sea of Deer, Milwaukee Bucks. I'm not dying. I'm not dying. They think I'm not alive inside, and I'm not alive outside. I'm more alive inside. I love myself more than I ever have in my life, the last 10 years of my life. They don't want to accept that I am alive. That's why they're trying to dim my light by holding my life from me and holding your life from you. Because Wisconsin, I'm not dying. So this book, no matter how many threats you guys make in my life, no matter how many times you send DoorDash people to come walk around here to drop DoorDashes off to neighbors' houses who aren't awake and just come out of alleys and this and that. No matter how many times you leave garbage laying around or little things to threaten my life, here, Wisconsin, I'm not dying. I'll always be here. Always be here. Ram sees it. Ram sees you. All you. That's why all these country and all these cities, all of what they created in time, I better off. So the Rothschilds, the balls, all the balls, all the balls, all the Rothballs, all the Rothballs. So that's why the Rothschild, they put a deer mask on the woman in marriage. That's what this means. All of it in time. That's what all this. The deers, the sea of deers, the sea of reeds. Pi left, all the Ross right. All the balls. See, I'm on my phone right now. Ball ends in the phone. I'm on my phone right now talking about the balls. That's why that is what it is. That's why Moses traveled what it is, because I'm on my phone right now with all the balls. And those are all the Roth balls. All the mothballs, the mothballs, the Roth balls. I'm not a Rothschild. The Rothschild is down south. I'm exiting all this shit. Pi left all the Ross. All the balls. Ends if phone. Why won't your churches, why won't these Black Mirror Bible study people, why won't any of them show this? I'm just asking a simple question. Let's continue. See the pit? The pit is home. The ram sees them all. When I say the pit, the pits, that's what I mean. The pits. Go back to Genesis, the pits. I see them all. I see all the Sheols, all the holios, all the unholios. So when it says, hey, TP for my bungholio, the bungholios, the she-holes, the holios, the unholios, all the people in the black keys, the dark keys, the underneath. I'm trying to lift them up, and they're literally, no, we don't want to be lifted up. We don't want to be lifted up. We like it here. We like our lives being devils and pretending to be angels, but we're devils, and we hide in the darkness, and we just like our lives. We want our money. We want our houses. We want to be. That's what all this is. The she-holes, the holios. Tipi for my bungholio. All the shallow hells. Shallow hell. So Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga, Shallow, they bring out a piano. This is what they were singing about. Right here. All this. Shallow Hal, Black Jack, the Holios, I need TP from a bungholio. That's what it all means in time. Literally. They threw it all in everybody's faces. I'm exiting all this. This is Exodus. I'm exiting all this. Hooray! B's right inside. Hooray! B's right inside. See, all the bulls. All the ball heads. That's what this means in time. The bulwarkers in Egypt represented the bulls, so the gold bull, and they were ones in time of elevation of consciousness, knowing the future and setting up the walls within the cities of Egypt. And that's why Moses knew and why he had to go to the burning bush. And God says, hey, this is what they're doing. The serpent on the staff. They are the serpents who are creating, who know the future, but they're not of God. So now you have secret societies back then, the bulls, all the ball heads. In time, nothing has changed from now, consciousness now to then. Everybody knew, but they didn't have phones, but they talked about phones thousands of years ago. But people are literally on the world stage fighting back and forth when somebody's sitting here. Here's what it all means. A bar placed on the necks. These are all the Allah Akbars. These are the bars. The people who are of creation from the bullheads, the bulls. So the balls, all the bars serve as a yolk. Well, what does that mean? Green eggs and ham as a green yolk. So the bar, the middle, so they are the Bulls, the Chicago Bulls, okay? They were the Bulls in time, giving yolk in time that was not of God. They were creating a future that was a reflection of God, but outside of the house of God, and that's what the pyramids were. The pyramids were reflections in time. So the chemical compounds that they were creating in the pyramids were reflections of where we are now. So all the compounds that they were creating in the pyramids and what they were using it for, those chemicals were a reflection of the streets that we live on, the cities we live on, the cities that everything, the truth and the lies. So all the truth, the compounds that they were creating in the pyramids were all of where we're at now. Everything that they were doing in time was a reflection within God and without God. That's what all this means. See, bull calf. S-A-B. That's why Memphis, Tennessee is a reflection of Egypt. Memphis is a reflection of Egypt, which is the Grizzlies. I beat it all. Done. Dan. Done. I beat it all. Done. See the pales. These are all the Palestines, the pale horses. These are all the pale horses. Everything that takes life away, the pale horse. These are all the Steiners. So all the Bernstein Bears, all the Steiners, all the Bernstein Bears. So all the Grizzly Bears, all the Black Bears, the Bernstein Bears. These are all the Bulls. I beat it all. Done. See the Canaanites. So the House of Savannah, the House of Anna. This is all the Knights at the Round Table. This is all like they were showing in the middle. These are the cone heads. These are all but in this sense, this is Silent Hill. So the cone wouldn't be at top. It'd be like, yeah, this is all Beetlejuice stuff. The Beatles, all the Beatles stuff, this is all Taylor stuff. My mother was a tailor. She sold my new blue jeans. This is all Beatles stuff. This is all Beatles talk. After we go from Exodus, oh, this is crossing the Red Sea. So now we're getting to crossing the Red Sea. I skipped ahead a little bit. I'm still reading this myself, but like I said, I'm not here to read this on camera. I'm just skimming through the top. You do your own research. I'm going to show you the little picture book. So on the war. The first 3 letters of the street I live on is War, Ram. Ram really sees this right. See? I'm beating it, Shane. Everything that I do in life is a reflection in time. This is showing me what they're doing to me. This is a mirror and a path. My mother's name is Pat. So this is a mirror ends. This is a mirror and a path within Pat. So my mother's house, Patmos, the island of Patmos. This is a mirror and a reflection. So everything that they were doing then is showing me what's happening in my life now. But you all are entertaining hey, go entertain what it is you entertain. Accept the people who are about to come on the world stage pretending to be somebody that they're not, saying that they're Christ, saying that they're this, saying the Antichrist, all of that. Go entertain that. They're coming out to the world stage because I'm showing this. That's the problem. But that's fine with me. Let the people who are trying to pretend to be who they're somebody or not. That gives me time to go actually find somebody who I could actually, I could find somebody who could actually love me, love my heart, see my heart for what it is. Like I went and stopped and washed my hands today at a restaurant because there was a dead seagull in the middle of the street. So I picked it up and put it on the side of the street. People just drive by dead things and they don't stop and there's no appreciation for life. There isn't in this world. So I stopped at a restaurant and I'm not saying that everyone's beautiful in their own way, but hey, excuse me, do you have a bathroom here? Like, I'm wasting my time out in the world chasing people who are like, just we're dangling a life over your head. Here, I'm gonna dangle a better life over your head. That's what they're doing. I could be out saying, hey, dang, I sense people's hearts. Like, I was riding my bike, there was a gentleman. It's like everybody who I passed, I felt like just cringe, But then there was one gentleman out of everybody I passed. It was a colored gentleman, and it was just nothing, like the most radiant of heaven I've ever felt, riding past him as he was walking, like peace be with you. Like, whoa, why can't I be next to people like that? Everybody else is just cringe, But then there's those one couple individuals where I just feel like heaven. There it is, heaven. A woman today walked in the restaurant. I felt that heaven. A man, I was riding my bike on the beach side. Out of everybody I passed, one African individual, heaven, just like heaven. I felt nothing but the radiance of heaven flowing through him as I walked by. I'm riding my bike past him. Everyone else is just like, ugh. That's how I feel. That's how it feels. See? The root of an exodus, the root of the exit. Exit is internal. So external, you have to go in. The exit is in, not out. Wisconsin got it all right. A mirror. I'm a mirror. L is God. I'm L. I'm L. My grandfather's name was Leroy. You're L. Elohim. El. I'm El. See? Sin. It's just a pat. I'm El in Wisconsin. All you she. You're an all, you see? Ready to hide him? So this is where, before they closed the roads, I made it down to hide. So they're ready to hide me because this world isn't ready. You guys want to entertain all the garbage of the world stage, which is fine. Go entertain it, but what's to come? Nobody can tell you what is to come, but the one who can show you his reflection and says, hey, here. Exodus. So mother, I'm El, inside and out of sin, Wisconsin. I'm El, Leroy. Every path that these individuals taking in time was a path of a reflection then for now. That's why there's individuals in this world who try to create their image outside of the house of God and create their own image so that you buy into their reflection and be their reflection in time, creating their reflection. What does that sound like? Lucifer. It sounds like Lucifer. Lucifer wanted his own reflection as God was creating a reflection for all in alignment and reflection for everybody to flow in infinity. This is why there's infinity wars. This is why there was a Thanos in Infinity Wars, because Thanos wanted to control the infinity of a war created that was started by Lucifer. So Lucifer and Thanos' daughters tried to control that. So everybody who's outside of the house of God, the Islams, the this, the that, all the others, they are trying to create their own temples outside of the flow of heaven so that you fall into this. In the alignment and reflection, everyone is trying to deny what is and was is the reflection then to show now, the truth of now. So the truth of then is the truth to show now. But everyone wants to create a lie. So God says, okay, you want to create a lie in time? All the animals, all the trees, the native plants, and everything you have ever created in time, even if it's a lie that was created 500 years ago. The native animals in that area of that lie where that lie was created reflects the lie. So all you have to do is look up the birds, look up the animals that are in native parts of the world. If a lie was stemmed from a certain area, a certain country, a certain city, where all the native plants, all the native trees, all the native grass, all the native anything that is of life shows that lie. That's how God is creation. That's what God does in creation. Plants everything that is in life, all around life, to the truth and the lie. That's Noah's Ark. So if we keep following this, we're ready to hide him from all of you. From all of you. See, I'm supposed to be quiet right now. Even heaven just says, shh, just be quiet. These people don't deserve literally this because they haven't earned this. But then people who are outside of heaven, who are literally not alive but want to be alive, they say, well, why don't we deserve this? Look at you. Look at your life. Look where you've come from. And this is where it comes into God's favor. So when it comes into God's favor, Brett Favre, be ready for God's favor, okay? So Brett Favre had a thumb injury and he got pills. Labrum. My right labrum, Abraham. I got sick from my labrum surgery, Isaac. That's how all this works. Every last bit of it. So when I show this in time, root of Exodus, where the route that they took in Exodus was to show now. So it's like, shh, all you, shh. We're ready to hide him. This is the path. The path in is the path out. In is out. She'll appear. I really love ya. Shepherd. He's a shepherd. Just shepherding. I'm shepherding digitally on a phone. Has the money. Going back down. I adoring ya. She adores me. I abide in you, I'm done in you. Both. We're both. We're over the lies. The mirror of lies. Done. So all the bathroom talk. All the bathroom talk. Done. All shit 'em. Jay, you the dada. You the dad. It's that easy. It's always been this easy. People just choose to make it more complicated because they don't know their own reflection, their own alignment in life, in their own lives, much less see their own reflection and alignment in God's heart. It's that easy. People rather take screenshots of somebody saying, "Hey, look at this. Look at his face. Look at his." Like, that's what people do in this world. Here. I'm just skimming through this. Like, I'm going to finish reading Exodus. Once I turn this garbage phone off, I'm going to... Now, it's like, now we're getting into Leviticus. Leave it. Leave it. Leave all the suck. Leave it. Because it all sucks. Really. All of this just sucks you in. Leave it all right so it doesn't suck you in. So the you, the inside, suck you in. So Leviticus is about all the things of the world that are of the world that suck you in, and how to leave it all right. How to leave it all right. My left, leave it. Leave it right. Because it'll suck you in. It's all evil. All the evil. All the evil that just sucks you in. See? Hold on. See? This is all the stuff that just sucks you in. This is talking about everything. Peace offerings, sin offerings. Because all that sucks you in is what causes sin. So Leviticus. Leave it all right. We get to numbers. Numbers is probably... This is where you are going to learn numbers. Numbers is where you're going to learn how to see everybody around you. So Mount Sinai, Sin, okay, Wisconsin. So the mountain, these are all like the... You have to go back here. You have to go back to Genesis for numbers to truly know what numbers means. It's going back to numbers, going back to Genesis for numbers. You are going to learn. So S is 19, H is 8, E is 5, O, L, okay? So if you want to know your name, find your name in this book, and truly, so this is like of the descendants of Asher, so this is me showing you like, okay, all of those who are in the belly of the beast, Ashers. So all of you who are in the belly of the beast, you have to go back to Genesis. You come from. So all the Ashers, you come from the belly of the beast. So to find your reflection to rise above, outside of Plato's allegory, and then come out of here, this is where you find your name in numbers. Okay? So the arrangement of the tribes, you find your name in the tribe where you come from. So if you know where your family comes from, your family lineage, and where you come from, this is why they have a 23andMe and all that garbage. So $41,500 were enrolled in this tribe of Asher. So in Milwaukee, it's 414. Okay, so 414 and 515 is Iowa and Milwaukee. So Iowa, mother. That's why the previous chapter. Okay. Second. Yeah, this is all about the lover. The laver. This is all about Iowa. So this is all about Iowa. Yeah. So the bath. This is coming out of the bath, the Sabbath. So the Sabbath left the bath. You go bed from sleepwalking to the bath, which is washing yourself from being in the pits, to beyond. And beyond is outside the walls of, like, your mind, Plato's allegory. So you, coming out of Exodus, coming into Numbers, learning where you come from out of the belly of the beast. So the descendants from Asher, for example, all those, it speaks about in the Bible about the descendants of Benjamin, the people from the tribe from Benjamin, the tribe of Asher. Okay, that means I'm bringing you out of the belly of the beast. That's why it's Thrasher, Asher. So in time, I got that where I got it because in my mind when I was younger, I had all of this in me The map was Matthew, Matteu. What's the matter with you? The map is within, two T's is pi. So map is within you. So the map was within me when I was younger. So when I was like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, saying, Ma, what does this mean? What does that mean? Oh, you're too young to be talking about that. Just go play. I should have been having those conversations. That's what it means. Like when Jesus says, didn't you know that I would be in the temple worshiping my Father? So when I was younger, I was having all this, and that's what this is. It's a reflection of then for now, but in a sense of finding yourself within yourself after knowing yourself before you knew actually who you are within yourself. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So this is finding yourself, the tribe of Asher. So taking you out of the belly of the beast, the Ashers, are finding you within each of the pits of the number of man, 666. So the number of man is the number of pits there are all around the world. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you are in the abyss. And when you're in the abyss, that's Sheol, and these are all that's a piano. This represents a piano. These are all the black keys. This represents the heart, the organ, mother. So mother and son. Son is this mountain. So that numbers is to find who your name is in this book. So anything that you have done wrong, that you feel you haven't, like, oh, I've dropped down to my knees, I've repented, and it feels like my life still isn't going and according. So if you find your alignment and your true reflection in time, and you open up this book, it's going to be known in the level of consciousness of heaven that your mind is ready to see yourself within these pages, and your name is written out in these pages. So the time right now, what time is it? One second. So it's 9:59. Now it's 10 p.m. Okay? 10. So out of the descendants of Asher, okay? Look at the pages. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now we're at... So 4 is D. A, C, B, A, C, C. I'm just showing the ABC 1, 2, 3 easy. When you get into this, that's how you know your alignment. So it's 10 p.m., for example. This is J. So I'm finding the J in this, myself, seeing myself within these books, within these. But if you really want to get technical, it's 9:59 is when I saw this. It turned 10 p.m. so it's 9:59. 9, 5, 9. So if you really want to get technical, when it's not to mix with other tribes, if you have a lineage that's from one place to another, okay, and you're wanting to learn this, where's the split? Okay, so Rebukia. So when you mix with different tribes, okay, what does that mean? You're going in different directions outside of what is meant for you. So go back to Exodus. Go back to the path of Exodus. And where do you exit? Where do you enter? So if you're exiting one tribe and you're entering another, you're just putting on a path until it's like, okay, now you have to be put back on a path that was meant to be by God. So do not enter other tribes. So if I want to enter the tribe of Islam or be one of these sneakos, would I be in the alignment and reflection of the tribe that I'm supposed to be in? I'm just showing my alignment, my reflection of my life. Your names are in this book as literally as I read, like, okay, A is 1, 3 is C. So your name, when you read your life or where you come from, you're like, oh, okay, now I'm going to go to Numbers. I'm going to read Numbers. Okay, the sons of Aaron. Aaron is the owner of Sky High, and this is the debt that Aaron owes. I know that this debt that Aaron has owed is going to be paid for in time because of everything that has happened in my life and in the places that happened in the consciousness of everybody going to the consciousness of Mount Sinai. So the Mount Sinai is the consciousness of the level of life. So if this is a mountain above your head, they take the mountain that's above your head of consciousness and make cone heads out of it. And these are the people that look through the windows in time. Those are the the Egyptians, how they built everything in the split. So when you exit the one tribe and go to another tribe, maybe that tribe has looking through the windows in time. Those are like the secret societies, Scientology, this, that, Masons, this and that, looking through the windows in time of your eyes. So in time, these individuals who left their tribe, left the alignment that they're supposed to be in with God, they left the alignment in time looking through the eyes of God to look through the eyes of somebody else, looking through your consciousness, okay, and knowing what you're going to do before you're going to do everything I've formed you in the womb, right? So everything that you have yet to do was know what you were going to do before you were in the womb, and then when you were conceived in the womb. So therefore, when you're out in the world was being shaped before you had the conscious thoughts to even what the world is being shaped in, to your conscious thoughts. Okay, fallen angels leaving this existence because they're waging war. This is where aliens come from. Fallen angels are demons who continue sinning and shrink, and then you're gone. So Agent K and Agent J opening up that locker, and there's oh, hail J, oh, hail J. Those are little aliens who are running from death. Okay, so right now, if there's a nuclear war between countries, where does everybody go? Underground. Who gets to decide who gets to go underground? Who has most money? Who has the most social media influences? Who has the most? I'm the strongest. I get to decide who's going to go underground. So all the animals, they get left behind. All the children, they get left behind. Now you understand Adam and Eve, the children that are literally out there who don't have a voice, but you guys are waging nuclear war against each other. So that's where you get Exodus. You get Moab. Okay, go back to Exodus and go to the Moab. The map is laid out for everything in time. Right now, we are here. They're ready to hide him, hide me, because all you just shh. So we're right here. You guys are literally going. You're entertaining people worried about flock cameras, but they film themselves with phones, not realizing this phone is connected to your neighbor's phone. Your neighbor's phone is connected to their phone is connected there. And they create a grid, tic-tac-toe. And with that grid, it's not linear. It's not just 2D. It's up, down, left, right, like a cross. And now you have sonar. Now these people are going out in the world worried about flock cameras and this camera, that camera. It's like there's no lead-based paint in your walls for a reason. Everything has been listened to and monitored for the last 50 years. Longer than you even knew what technology truly was and what's being created, what's technology's been outside of you that you even knew existed 50 years ago. So where we're at now, Exodus, this is how to exit all this. Exit all this. So if you start here, I know my reflection and where I'm going. The deer's reflection, water, time is a reflection. So when you're driving down the highway and you have a conscious thought, there's most likely going to be a puddle, not a puddle, a lake, a river, or something down the side of a highway when you're having a conscious thought. So if you're on the passenger side and there's water on the passenger side, the passenger's conscious thought, what kind of reflection it was, there's going to be water to your right. That's how creation works. If you're on your left side, the driver's side, you have a conscious reflection and you understand the world, the way the world is shaped around you, there'll be water to your left. So here's reflection of light to my left. This path is of here. I'm L. So C of reeds, deer. Okay. So the reeds in the beginning are the deer. So this is water of reflection in time. This is reflection in time to show here. Everybody's ready to hide him. So when we get here to Moab, if you guys are all fighting nuclear war because you guys are all lost, literally pointing your fingers in time, what happens? All the children, okay, who get left behind, do they get a choice of to go underground? So now you're fighting nuclear war, and now you go live 15, 20, 25 generations, 25 generations of kids being born, living underground, relying on technology, relying on reverse engineering. Alien technology is only the mind. Is reverse engineering of the mind. Okay? The mind and gravity and everything is in here. That's why it's here. Sheol, Genesis. A ship is the mind. That's why God said, I will not flood the earth, because you're being flooded with information, which is causing the mind just to go being Towers of Babel. The Tower of Babel was created because you guys are literally seeing multiple different languages, it was purposely created like that for there to be a mystery of God and creation, because it confused everybody to say, hey, if you truly want to be of God, you'll see that there's no multiple languages. There's no multiple writings. There's no, everything equals one in time and reflection. So it's just a reverse engineering of what you see in a so-called alien craft. This is where you go when you wage nuclear war into the abyss underground. So to exit all this, so God says, okay, now you're understanding the rapture. God says, okay, you guys want to fight nuclear war? I'm going to take all the children and create Adam and Eve's again in new worlds that already exist right now, while you guys can be left here. Now you're understanding you going underground, become the alien, because there's no light. You're relying on artificial food, artificial intelligence to live underground. Now your heads are getting bigger, your eyes are getting dark because there's no light, your skin's getting pale because there's no real light. This is the roadmap on how to exit all this. Exodus. Exit all this. So sometimes you got to go in to go back out. You got to go down before you can go up. But what that means in life is, yes, sometimes you're going to go down in the pit because you're going to lose yourself in your own heart. And once you stop speaking from Middle Earth, your heart, Middle Earth is the heart. So the heart of the world, if the heart of the world is listening and synced up to your conscious thoughts, the world is shaping around you speaking either from your heart or speaking outside of your heart, and you being shaped by man, and that's being in the abyss. So the podium in church, when you go up into the middle of a church and speak into a podium, you're speaking from your heart, Middle Earth. So to how to exit all of this, you follow the roadmap in reflection in time. Sin, seeing. They're just ready to hide me. We're ready to hide him. Because of what I'm giving the world, but the world doesn't want to see it or truly accept it because they don't know their own reflections. So it's like you guys just like accept death. Like, oh, we'll just accept death. We'll just accept nuclear war. We'll just literally keep entertaining the world stage. We're going to keep turning on our televisions. What's happening in the news today? How many people are going to be hurt today? How many likes, views, subscribes, and shares can we get today at the next police chase, the next shooting, the next earthquake, the next this, the next destruction of this? And I'm saying here, of how to get out of here and how to stop all of this. Would y'all rather go and I'm going to turn on this person debating with this religion debating with that person showing, no, this is right, no, that's right. Exit all this. So going from Exodus to Leviticus, leave it all, because it all sucks. It's all evil, and it all sucks. So this, how to exit all of this, this is how to leave it all. And when you get into Numbers is how to find your name in all of it through the numbers. So this number, for example, this would be B and E. So B on the north side. So like all of this is reflection in time to how to be done. So all of this, you can find your name in here. And the exact, if you knew how to read this, I'm not going to show you right now, because I'm not going to waste my breath on people who truly don't want to see it. Do you understand what I'm saying? I want to go into the actual house of God and say, okay, open up your Bibles and say this. Speaking on here, I'm not connecting with anybody's heart on here. I'm not connecting with any of your hearts. 272 of you in here, I'm not connecting with your heart. I'm only showing you, but you're not seeing or hearing, but maybe you are, but I'm not connecting with your heart. I'm here for hearts. That's it. So if I go here and say this date, this time, and tomorrow what you're going to do in time, tomorrow what you're going to do, it can be found in here, and how you can exit your bad day and be on a good day through Numbers. So when we get into Numbers, the next chapter, now we get Deuteronomy. This is all once I show all this, people are going to start doing this for what? Doing it for the money. Because once I show this is where you get all the false prophets coming to the world stage. That's what you're about to see. You guys are about to see people going on the world stage, claiming to be this person, claiming to be that person, all because I'm just unveiling what it is that's always been right in front of you. I know my reflection in time. Nobody can take that from me. They can threaten my life all they want. They can leave all their garbage laying around the streets as they want to threaten my life. They literally leave dead animals. They leave dead dogs and dead cats years ago to say, hey, this is going to be you. Yeah, that's what they've done to me in time to try to threaten me. Girl, angel, do that on your bed. Yeah, caught you. Goofball. So, all of this, that's what you're about to see come to the world stage. You're about to see people going into this book and be like, oh, I see only this portion, but then they'll put that portion and amplify it and break it some huge, but they're only given this much. That little bit. They can't open the door. They can't close the door, but they can give the door frame. They can give the little tiny framework that I'm given. They're going to add their own reflection to it. They don't want to do the internal work. Read this like I'm reading this. Right. So they're going to come to the world stage. You're going to get the false prophets. You're going to get the people claiming to be this, that, and the other thing. Let them. Just let them. Let them be. Just let them be. At the end of the day, Deuteronomy. Everybody who's doing it for the money, they will show themselves. So now we get into Joshua. I'm in the book of Joseph. Shane, you are in the book of Joseph. Yes, exactly. That's when silence is golden. So now we get into the book of Joshua. Okay? I am in the book of Joseph, the Joe edition. Okay? Now we're getting to Shane. You right. I am right inside. Shane, you right. Okay? Here, but they can't show because it's not their alignment and reflection. If they were truly of God in this book, when they come to the world stage, as they will, I would say, here's the entrance, okay? I showed you the exit, how to exit this, okay? The exit is inside. Wisconsin is not dying, so don't worry about me, I'm fine, okay? The exit is the entrance. Okay? So now here, I'll be all right. Okay? When I exit, I'm entering. When I say that, I'm exiting all of this. I will be all right. When you don't hear from me, now you see me, but you won't. You will not see me because I'm starting a family. That has nothing to do with ball heads. This is family. That says family up there. I'm going to be starting a family. I raised family of children that were not mine. I want to have a family of my own. I want my friends that I've grew up with, that I've known, I want to give them a better life and change the people's lives in this world who deserve a better life, who've been through all of this with me throughout my whole life. So the exit is the entrance of your life. And if you want to truly learn and see this, you will be of God's heart. Do you understand? You will be of God's heart and reflection, which is the pages of this book. God's heart and God's reflection is this book. If you are in God's heart, you are in the pages of this book. That's what it means by the names of heaven. They will be written in gold. Silence is golden, and you know your place in heaven. That's why you can just be silent and not entertain all this. That's the Lamb's book of life. The lamb, the teeth. So as I've written throughout my life, in the light, John's son wrote in the dark, which is Adam. He's the first Adam. He comes from the first Adam. So this is the entrance to seeing all in, to be seeing it. I'll be all right. Okay, I'm just reflecting right now. I'll be all right. So this is the Valley of the Archer. I care. Okay? I'm shitting on them. You're really seeing them. You're really seeing it, Wisconsin. You're really seeing it right. You'll beat it all. You'll beat all the lies. So, all the lies, all the B Roths. So all the Rothschilds, I'm beating all the Roths, all the Rothschilds that were standing in my way. Because that's why all the walls were up. See? I'll be all right. Jordan, just chill. Because they're trying to get me, just chill. They're trying to make all the Roth, me speaking how I'm speaking, they're trying to get me on something illegal. That's why it's here. Just chill. They're trying to get shit on them. See? They don't have shit on them. Just chill. All the illegal. That's why all the walls are up, because of all the people who are doing illegal stuff. But I'll be all right. That's why if you go to Exodus, where it's the path of Exodus, it's like they're ready to hide me away from all this. Because no matter what I do, you will try to find something where you have nothing on me. Nobody has anything on me. Nothing. So they all try to find or do things out in the world to try to find things to put on me, so they stop me from talking. Map is how to enter and exit Exodus. And so I'm in the book of Joe. Shane, you all right. You all right. That's how this works. Now we get into the map. So now you ask me about the tribes as divided by Joshua for the 12 tribes. Jay, you had to leave right. I'm begging you, end it. I'm begging you, end it right. My left is my right. Ends right and begins right. S, Wisconsin. Done. Tribe of Benjamin. Let's see him. Done. Lets him in. Man, is he a seeing it? I caught all the lies, all the illegal aliens, the Galileans, all the illegal aliens. Rebuking you. All the gad lies. So Asher is the first belly, which is here. Asher. So this is the left. So these are the tribes of Asher. The right, which is my left. So these are all the Abaddon. Okay, when you get into Benjamin, now we're getting into Benjamin, which is 2. Where's 2? So there's no more walls between Benjamin. So when the Israel, that's in Israel Ben. Big B, I know. Big Ben. So this is Big Ben. So there's no more walls between any of us. So this is all the walls are done. So Dan. Now her. Now she's done, meaning I'm up here, I'm Amir. So this is all Shiloh. This is all about the low, the tribe that's low, Texas. This is all about, yeah. So this is all Gad. Yeah, this is the, yeah. This is all the Tobys, the Gilboa, Rockies. This is all the Rockies, the Rocky Mountains, all the Roths, the Moths, the wars from the Moths. These are all the lands of, yeah. It's really, it's really interesting for everybody to, I think, find out that, what was for now. And now you're understanding that the global war how do I put this? Michael Jackson, the turf wars on a global scale, if you take everything down that is here, so how do I put this? The turf war on a global scale is just turf, just what? People battling over the fruit, turf. That's why there's turf skate park. So all the things that if you search up like history of gangs, for example, okay? What are the names of all the gangs that first started? Before there was technology, the OGs, okay, as they call them, OGs, I have no affiliation, no nothing. I'm speaking purely from the heart, and I see people's hearts. I don't see color, I see your heart, okay? You have life, blood, death, crypt, right? And I want nothing but the best for all of you. Because in the beginning, I knew what was all done. It was a covenant made with God to show the turf war of life. But then when you get technology and you get people going back and forth, exactly like you see people debating back and forth about religions, this and that. Once you get to the people that are literally just like in it for money, Deuteronomy, that's like all this. So this turf war on global scales between governments, agencies, this, that, and the other thing, that's all this in a sense of tribes. So the tribes don't mean people in a sense of where you come from. The tribes of what the people represented in time. So when I say, hey, your family, your lineage is going to be the basically names of nations the nations, your life that you lived in reflection of that nation is going to be a reflection of all around the world and what the world is going to be going through. So in smaller scales, people of smaller tribes knew this, and they tried to savor God's word and God's life in a way of using that to show the future. So when it says, hey, don't forget when they say out in the streets, when I'm out in the streets and I'm going and I'm saying, I just passed a gentleman who was of dark skin color, and I felt more heaven in that dark skin colored man than anybody else that I passed throughout everybody on that beach. Now, where that individual came from or where he comes from doesn't matter. What I'm saying is what I felt within him was the closest thing to heaven that I felt in a very long time. So that individual, if he creates a gang, he's a person of heaven and says, I want to create a way of saying, hey, God, this is my way of creating something that I don't want to be harm to anybody in the world. But once we get to a certain point in life where technology comes into play, governments come into play, this, that, and the other thing, and they try to force things on people, on society and ways of living, and then you have to fight back in a way, and then younger generations, they lose the root of what something truly started for. That's where all this is reflection of. The tribes. So the tribes are how you bring yourself back to your heart. This is how you do that. The pathway, the exodus, and the entrance. Joshua. Jay's in the book of Joseph. Shane's in the book of Joseph. That's all that means. These are the people that think I'm judging them. They see, but they think I'm judging them. When you get into this book of Judges, this is where you read of how, hey, he's looking at you like this. And when he's reading these stories of time, he's reading on how to see all of your hearts in a way where he's not, these are all the Baraks. So I'm seeing in time what they're going through before they knew what they were going through, and saying, hey, I'm not judging you on what you came from, selling drugs, doing this. I'm saying, hey, here's where everything started. If you can't get your houses in order, this is where they made the movie, this TV show, Mayor of Kingstown. I think I said that right. Mayor of Kingstown. Get your houses in order, because I'm not judging by color, what you've done, this and that. I'm saying I know where the root of David, this is where the root of David comes into play. Speaking from the root of the very beginning of where it stems from, and saying, I see your hearts from the beginning, and everything that was done up until this point, enough of it. See that, hey, God, the judges are you only judging yourself by what you have gone through. I'm not outing y'all. I'm not out in any of y'all. I'm not outing y'all. I'm not throwing you under buses. I'm not saying, hey, I have dirt on you and this and that. I'm saying I see your hearts and what you stem from and what society, disgusting, filthy society, and where it stems from of man, has caused and poisoned your hearts to think of the ways that you're thinking that's causing your hearts to be poisoned. This chapter, the story of Judges, I'm not outing y'all. I'm not outing any of y'all. Wisconsin's right. Everything that is dying in you from the upside down world. So go back to Genesis. Everything that is Wisconsin is right. So in the beginning, this is considered right side up in the beginning. Wisconsin would be upside down, talking in reflection. Not that I'm upside down. I'm not upside down. Wisconsin. How to defeat all of what is dying and that makes you die inside. Right. Wisconsin is right. So all the balls, all the ball heads, all the balls, all the people that were literally hurting you in time, using your consciousness in time before you even had a conscious thought of what you're doing out in the world. 50 years before you were born, they were shaping the world around your consciousness, meaning if you have a conversation with me in time on tomorrow, on the day 50 years ago, we're trying to set this world up 50 years ago based on our conversation we're going to have now. So every moment that you live after our conversation we have, now they're attacking you in a way where it's like, why does he deserve to have that conversation? Why does he deserve to be next to that? Why does he deserve to know what these words mean? So they're trying to test your basically faith in what I'm saying to you. What this is. So how to defeat what it is I'm speaking to you on in a way where it's, hey, Wisconsin is right. Everything that is dying in you, he's trying to say, hey, everything that destroys you in life and where it comes from and where it stems from, he's got an answer to it. And for you to see it a certain way, don't attack him, because he's not throwing you under the bus. He's not outing you all. I'm just speaking the truth, inside and out. Ruth. You get into the Babe Ruths, all the babes, all the pigs, the war pigs. So all the war pigs starting wars out in the streets, all the Ruths, the babes, the baby Ruths, all the candy. So all the candy. What is candy? Drugs. Drugs are candy. You go to this candy man, you go get drugs out in the street, all the Ruth, all the sweetness of the world. You want the sweetness of the world and all the money and all the sweetness of life. That's Ruth. This is where you're ruthless, because you get a taste of this, and now you're understanding why it's King David, the root. So the book of Judges, I'm not outing y'all. I'm showing you the root. That's why I brought the root of David to here, the roots. So the truth within the root is you. You're the truth. So the root of David and the king is useful in Hebrews for the Gentiles. So Gentiles are the genitals, the balls. So they give you the balls from, okay? Now when I say this, I'm saying this respectfully and with truth from my heart. So they are giving you in time, looking through the windows in time of my life, our lives, putting out in the world what they are, which is not the truth. These are the Balchinians. So the Balchinians of the world at the very top levels of life trickle down the balls, the simians, and give people the sweetness of life, the wizards and warlocks. So this is all about the warlocks in time. And what if you really dig deep on what warlock really is, it's disgusting. Truly disgusting. So like being a father to your children and all the everything. This is what I'm speaking about in time, how filthy and disgusting this world is, and we wage turf wars on where you're coming from, put drugs out in the street and all the disgusting filth, and they put all the sweetness in the world, like all the sexual immorality, all the strip clubs, the bars, this, that, and then they go even deeper and they use your consciousness away from you, and they take your life, for example, like abortion clinics, like they take women's eggs, sperm, and they store it away, and you go to hospitals, and what hospitals are, the World Health Organization, WHO, and that's all this chapter right here of where it all roots from and stems from, the truth and the root of the ruthless one. That's why it's a short chapter, because it's not hard to see the truth in the ruthless, in the root. And it's a very short chapter. Because if you know yourself and you can truly see where you stem from and where this world, with the reflection between you and the world, outside of yourself, within yourself, that's why Ruth is so short, because it's like, oh, I see it. get into Samuel. Samuel. Sam, you left well. So Sam left you L. So Sam saw you L. L is the word for God, Elohim. So Sam saw you all. L. L is all seeing. Elohim. God is all seeing. So Hannah bears a son. This is everything the Palestines. These are all the pale horses of the Sam. Everything that saw. So what happened to Thomas? Okay. Apostle Thomas was sawed in half. Why? In time, that represent those who only saw half the truth. So in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, you were watching at the end of that movie, Willy Wonka, with all everything was half, talking about the Apostle Thomas in that segment of the movie where the boy's in there with his grandfather and Willy Wonka's all pissed off and upset and everything was half. That's Apostle Thomas being sawn in half because everybody now is only seeing half the truth. So Samuel is Sam saw you L. L saw you all. So the reflection of this from the Dead Sea, okay, meaning the dead only seeing half because you're only half alive. Half of you's alive, half of you's dead, okay? Because you're only seeing half the truth of like the turf wars and where everything stems from, the root of everything. That's what it means. So everything in this world and killing you, the pale horses, the Palestines, okay, that is what this all is from. So the map that is showing here is everything. So Beersheba, this is half. You're only blurry vision. He's SAB, beer. He's SAB, seeing it right. He's not blurry vision. So Sheba, okay, he's SAB. He's attached to all of it. You sure are. Everything that you know in existence and the ways that it was created in reflection in time. Just got to know yourself. Prisoners among the sea peoples. So this, see how they're sawn? Everybody saw because they were given only half the truth of the thigh. See? The thigh. So this in time was done here because Samuel, you only saw half. You only saw half of L, half of me. Elohim, you only saw half of me. So the prisoners from among the sea peoples represent the prisoners who only see half. Why? Due to all the cone heads, all the Dead Sea Scrolls, Isaiah. So all Isaiah, who was putting like drugs out into the world? The cracks. Who created crack? Who created cracks? Okay? And I'm not talking about cracks in the sky, cracks in the ceiling. I'm talking about, so Isaiah in the Dead Sea Scrolls, so the candy, so all the sweetness of the world, the drugs. So agencies put things out into the world, like, for example, Ronald Reagan puts out, the war on drugs, and it's Mary Jane, the war on Mary and Jane. So Mary Jane represents higher elevation of consciousness. Okay, so when you have Black Panthers, when you have all these other movements in time, all these agencies step in and they do stuff, and they only make people see half the truth. That's what all these years ago they were showing people who were prisoners from among the sea people only seeing half the truth, only walking in half the truth. It's always been this easy. That's why it's Samuel. So, Sam saw you all. I saw you all only seeing half, and you were only walking halfway in the light. Either you were walking with the wrong head or you were walking with the right head. See? Wrong head, right head. Half the truth. I don't read any of this stuff, but I know all this stuff because his arm is coming down to the right angle. So right is seeing only right half of the this you're only seeing left half of the truth. So this arm is coming down here to speaking from the heart. So his arm is coming here to speak from the heart. This arm is reaching here through the nose. Hey, I know I'm bowing to you because this is where the elbow would be. The elbow is bowing to the belly of the beast. His arm is coming to the heart. This is coming eye to eye with him. So therefore, he is reaching down, showing, hey, we're only seeing half of the thigh. It's that easy. So Samuel, that's why it's Samuel. This is Samuel 2. Structures remembering the Ark of the Covenant. It's just a furnace. The Ark of the Covenant represents the furnace. Why was it buried? Because it represents below Sheol, the ark. Meaning, okay, so when Jesus was born, he was born under a bridge. Above the bridge are angels, so meaning Jesus was born into Sheol to bring everybody out of Sheol, out of the pit. That's what this represents. The wheel. Which is carried by Hebrews, which are those who are Hebrews are those who are brewers of what? Of the light. He's the light of the brew. That's why it's Milwaukee Brewers. So the Ark of the Covenant was created because and put where it was because of all those. The game, which represents the diamond, which represents. So when you have all the people on the world stage doing that diamond crap, okay, those are people playing the game who know about the Ark of the Covenant and why the Ark of the Covenant was the Ark of the Covenant and why it was made. They're not of the Ark of the Covenant. They're outside of the Ark. This is where it comes, don't separate yourself from tribes, because once you get to a certain level of life, there's a glass ceiling, and you realize, oh, there's just war pigs at the top playing war at everybody from below, which is back now. Going back to Genesis, the Ark of the Covenant would have been down here, Sheol. So the Ark was put down because you had to find Middle Earth again, which is your heart. When you find your heart, walking through the furnace, you are refined. So when you walk through the furnace, you understand, the Ark of the Covenant. Then you rise up. Now you're understanding that this represents the three-headed dragon, the Hydra. Well, the Hydra. The Hydra. So the drawers, the Hydra, and then you have the furnace, and you're walking through the furnace. And so now, elevations at Opal. So the ops of hell. Okay? hell is the furnace where the Ark of the Covenant would be in Sheol, back in the beginning. So this would be like the Ark of the Covenant. The columns of earth, Ark of the Covenant is the furnace. So in actuality, if you really want to, see how these walls are right here? This is the brain. This is a mind. Okay? So everybody who built these walls up are looking through the windows. So those windows, okay, these little dots are windows. As you would see windows on buildings now, like windows. So those are your windows in time. They built those cities up. That is your mind. So this right here, this would be, okay? So everything within these walls is a brain, is a mind, okay? Outside of these walls is like outside of God. So those who built this, now I'm not saying this is built like by God or for, okay? Another view of the Temple of Solomon, okay? So this would be considered a mind, a brain within the mind. So within the mind is the creation of the reflection of you, reflection. So you create, this is where the first fall of heaven comes into play. So when you're in the first fall of heaven, before it was a word, it was a conscious thought. So before you build something, you are what? You're an architect, or you're a stonemason, you're an architect, you're a carpenter, whatever it is you are putting your mind to this within that. So that is like within the mind. Okay? So these are different levels of consciousness. So here's the walls of like the Jericho. Okay, these walls come down. Now you understand, okay, to get this elevation of consciousness, you have to earn this level of heaven. To get to this level of consciousness, now you have to get to this level of heaven. Now you understand the big steps are little steps. Little steps are big steps. So now you're getting to the, okay, elevation of consciousness. Now you're understanding this way of living and this elevation of consciousness. Now you earn your way up to this level of consciousness. Then you're here living life and you're understanding, oh, to get to this box here, here, and here, you have to go through the layers of life to get to this level of consciousness. Now you're looking through the windows in time into the future. Now you're understanding these levels of consciousness to get to the cone heads, to the square, so when it shows the Father with a diamond or with a triangle behind him, okay, now you're understanding the pyramids. Now you're understanding what I show here, the 3 levels, 3 layers, okay? Once you get here, you're understanding the Temple of Solomon. They took this, the Washington, in the state of, not the state of Washington, Washington D.C. They have the Solomon Temple, the Mason's Temple. That's a house outside of God. This is what it was preparing everybody for, the 33rd degree Mason, this and that. It's just level of consciousness, but they took it and utilized it outside the house of God, knowing that somebody was going to be born not within the temple. And this is where it says, oh, he'll be born outside of the temple, but everything will be shaped around him, within and without, outside and inside. So this is just levels of consciousness to come in. Now you come into the gate. This is where it says the east and the west gate, okay, will split. So when you go east to the house of Anna, okay, St. Anne Center, and the east gate, it's going to split because people are understanding, oh, I understand why all this was done because of the wine press, the prostitute, Babylon, this and that. And they're like, I don't want any part of that. And they split outside of the house of God. So this went that way, and they sealed up the gate, and the gate would open, and there would be a split. This is what it means. So you have the consciousness. Here's the walls that are built up. For you to get within these walls, you have to learn what it means to have elevation of consciousness. So a small incline to elevation of consciousness. Then you have big steps, which are little steps. Okay, now you're elevating your consciousness, which is the mind. So if there was a tree of life here, this would be like the tree of knowledge of good and evil and the tree of life. Certainly, if you eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, there's death. You will die. The tree of life is eternal life. Say this is the consciousness of eternal life, the tree of life. This is the steps that you would take to go into the tree of life, to earn your place in time in the reflection and alignment of the tree of life. So within these walls is levels of consciousness, and you create these levels of consciousness of mind, and you come together within the mind. That's why there's going to be a mark of the beast. That's why there's people fighting over this religion, that religion. I'm debating you on this. I'm debating you on that. You're debating on something that doesn't belong to you, for one. Two, you're trying to control consciousness in a way where you yourselves don't even know what it truly means to be of consciousness, because you see through these windows in time, but you don't know what it means to be of the windows in time. You are just pointing your fingers together, pointing your fingers, rubbing your hands together, a fault. And now you understand that if this building is an illusion, Lucifer, this would be wanting to know this is the illusion, a reflection of God's creation. So if your conscious mind is building this, and God's saying, hey, the world is shaped around your conscious mind, so the mountains, the trees, the plants, the animals, and everything that you know in existence that is life, those walls and bricks, that's not life. That's your conscious mind creating an illusion outside of God's creation to reflect either God's creation or your own reflection outside of God's reflection. You understanding that, hey, if these and the mountains and the way everything is shaped, and you walk into your reflection in stone. So that mirror right there, as I've said multiple times, if you go out to the coast and you watch somebody walk, if there's big boulders out in the ocean and you watch somebody walk, their reflection in time. So if I'm standing here like this, like exactly in this shape right here, and I was walking out to the ocean front where the ocean meets the sand, and somebody was 40 meters behind me and they were watching me walk into like a boulder, a big rock in the ocean, and I was making this pose. That pose would be in the rock, just as I look into a mirror into that pose. It's in a rock. You are the bread. That rock produces you, the bread. The world is the body. I take this body, I break it off, meaning you, and you are a piece of the world. That is your conscious thought, the mind. That is what I'm building these cities based on looking through the windows in time of your eyes. So your conscious thought, fallen angels take that conscious thought and they build cities according to your thoughts of good and bad, good and evil. And then when you point your finger, now the world is, the earth is a reflection of you, because the world is breathing just like you're breathing, okay? And if you're literally tense and you're pointing your finger and saying, that's the problem, now the world is saying, okay, the fault lines, you're saying here you're at fault. Now the world is really going to show you who's at fault and where the fault comes from. So if I'm saying, hey, California is the first fall of heaven, that's first fault. So the fault line, the San Andreas fault, that's the first fall of heaven. So now you understand that the fault lines in San Andreas, and where that's all of you guys in San Andreas and Skid Row and this and that going clashing. So if you guys stop and truly understand what it is I'm saying, the fault lines will go like this, open up. And when they open up, this is where Superman shows Lois Lane falling in the fault lines. The ocean will disappear. For 3,000 meters, for 30 days, the ocean will disappear. You'll be like, where did the ocean go? It went 3,000 meters, and it'll be disappear for 30 days. Why? Because the fault lines open, even the fault lines underneath the ocean, and the ocean will drain into the fault lines. So when you guys realize, oh, the fault lines will close, and it'll push the water back out. That's draining the swamp. That's what this means, all of this. That is a brain, that is a mind. So that this, how you build this, is how God shaped the world. The mountains, the trees, where lies stem from, where animals come from, all the animals, where you let's say I start a lie right here in this state of Wisconsin and Milwaukee, okay? All the native trees, all the native grass, all the native animals, everything that you know here would reflect the lie and show the truth based on the animals, on the color of the animals, where the animals come from, what they do, time of year, all of it. So this city, based on that, that's what this is in time of kings, the kings of the world building up the mind of God or outside the mind of God. These are all, now you get into Chronicles. Now you're getting in from Adam and Abraham. Genealogy. So you're getting into, so Shane is showing. So the Kennedy. So these are the Kennedys. Adam comes from Kennedy. So Eli is the first Adam. I'm showing. So see it, right? Shane is showing it. Kennedy is showing that his son, John's son, is Adam, the first Adam, not Jesus Adam, the first Adam. That's why they have a movie called Black Adam, The Rock. So now we're getting into the genealogies and the chapters of Chronicles. See, you're right on. I see all of it. I see all the lies. So this, in reflection, so Adam in the beginning was what? Eve, the serpent and Eve, okay, Adam. Seth, Shane showing it right. Kennedy, all of it, the jarheads, all the ball heads. So Jared, okay, if I go in here, this is why Jared was named Jared. All the jarheads. In this jar is ball. And in the ball is honey, the land of milk and honey, the ball heads. All the bulls. So Kennedy. So the bull and the warthog. Kennedy. John's son, Adam. The jarhead, Adam. So you get green eggs and ham. All of it. This is just our story in a way of showing it that includes to show everybody, because just because our names are right there as you see them, your name's in here too. You just don't see yourself in your own reflection, to much less know your own reflection. You see the world shaping who you are now, instead of going back to where the beginning of your life and saying, oh, now I see God understood that each hair in your head is numbers. So each hair that is breath. Okay, you're growing as the tree grows, as the grass grows, and okay, if you're breathing in life, you're being life. If you're breathing not of life, you're not producing fruit. That means the world is shaping around you and your family based on you're not being fruit. So this book will show you where you're at in your life, where you've been in your life, where God knows you should be, and where God sees you should be, or where you're going. That's this. Chronicles. That's where we're at. So Chronicles 2, this is the beginning of end of era. This is the decree of Cyrus. So this is like the 13 ghosts. This is all Cyrus. This is Osiris. This is death. This is all like everything that brings death. You're going from the beginning to the end of an era. So this is this easy, Ra. This is all easy. All right, this is all easy stuff. When you get into this chapter, after knowing Chronicles 1 and 2, this in a sense of I know my life. I know where I'm at. I still read and go through all this because I want to know the history of the dead. Those who are dead are giving life. Exactly when I go into the cemetery, this is considered me going into the cemetery of consciousness, saying these are the individuals who walked in time according to alignment and reflection then for where I would be in my alignment and reflection now, for everybody to find their own alignment and reflection. But people wake up each day not knowing how it is they're going to go about each day of their life because they're caught up in their world. You're more important. Let me put it like this. You're more important than me. You're more important than anything that I have going on, which is fine. But that's your mindset. In my mindset, I'm not more important than anybody else in this world. I'm no one special. I'm a nobody, and me being a nobody is finding my somebody within God. My somebody I want to find is within the heart of God, within the hand of God. I want to be held close to the bosom of God and saying, hey, let me hear your heartbeat to know what the in-between of my heartbeats means, because that's Osiris, that's death. Me understanding death is to know life. Now we get into my oh my. Ends right. My oh my. I'm a Mia. I'm just a Mia. I'm just a Mamma Mia. I'm just a Mia. I'm just a mirror. I'm not a meerkat. Ends right. I'm a Mia. To be it right. I don't even want to get into this chapter. This chapter is just, that's where you get into the wine press. Into the wine press, you're getting into Martha's Vineyard, why John crashed into Martha's Vineyard. Esther is a lot of John, more than it is me. But yeah, I think that's all for one day. Like I said, this is all just box head talk. This is all box head talk. I'm going to continue reading. Actually, not... I'm going to show... I don't want to be speaking into this. I don't want to have Bible study sessions like other people do. I want to actually read as I've been reading and going through it as I've been going through it. I just show you what it is that you should be doing and you should be seeing yourself. So, if you truly want to know where you're at, rivers are about to run red. I'm seeing red. So the tiger, the tigress, the tiger. So this is life of Pi. Life of Pi. Pi is showing. Pi is showing you. So this is the tiger. So this is the life of Pi. I'm not the tiger. I, the tiger, Rocky Balboa, as a boa, as it shows in here. Okay, all of what you know is existence, is either shown inside of here or outside of here, outside the house of God, of this. All the rivers are about to run red. So we're in the life of Pi where it's like we split now. It's time to split. John's son, the tiger, he left navigating right. And he's very lost right now. Lost boys. He's lost the dark keys, the black keys, the low of she. So he'll be all right. He'll be all right if he just stops trying to be somebody he's not. He's not me. He's more of sin than sin is of sin. And orange is the new black. because he's starting things that he should just stop. Because people are like, hey, yellow is doing it better. I'm not the renegade, for one. That's why it's Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve, it's like Michelle, Baraks, the Baraks, okay? Lucifer, the Statue of Liberty. Lucifer and Liberty are a male and female, but it's told in time from the beginning to the end. At the first fall, it was Lucifer, a male. Now that's why it's Lucifer and Decker in the show Lucifer. So it's like an illusion that Decker is real. Those two are one from the beginning and the end. That's she and Lo. She left Lo in and out. So the black keys and all of what you know and hear in the pits and why there's a pit. Yeah. That's all Adam and Eve talk. Sheila is all Adam and Eve talk and the Rock talk, and you don't want to get into that talk. That's just, when you get into that talk, it's just this. It's where you get into Cypress Hill, all of that. The journey of Abraham. Isaac, okay? All those who are sick, Isaac Cappy, all those who are sick from the world that they know, and they try to, these are the the four horsemen. These are the horsemen. Stay away from all that talk. You don't want to be a part of that talk, trust me. But, I mean, if you want to dig into it. But, so when it says that Esau and Jacob, one of the brothers, was born on the heels. So when you have to kneel, when you're kneeling at the mother, okay, you have to heel. So your heels are up. So the hooves and the heels. So when you're kneeling in St. John's, so John's son, the darker half of John is dark, because John's son is the dark horse. So therefore, when Esau and Jacob were born, one of them was born red, and hairy, and the other one was born of dark. Okay, that's him kneeling at the mother of being reborn in the spirit. So we have to kneel at the mother, and he was born on the heels. So he was born on the heels of him kneeling of his mother, and when his brother was born in the spirit, he was born pulling on his heels, healing. So he has to heal. That's what it means. But they won't tell you this, because to put places, people in time of who they are, of what the Bible represents, they want you going round and 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 round in circles, fighting over what's real and what's not, what's this, what's that, they want you guys entertaining this and creating a mark of the beast and all that stuff, when most of the world, you're going to be fighting over marks of the beast, the people who got the mark, who didn't get the mark, people dying and not dying, people getting chased down and this and that, when there's going to be a whole millions of people who are going to be safe in a place in time in earth here, where it's going to be like, hey, remember these deserts where they were barren and they were just wasteland? They become literally gardens. So when these gardens get made, these are the places for everybody to go who are going to be outside of the places of the chaos and destruction that you guys are creating. And you're going to be thinking, aliens took them, aliens are going to take us, the rapture, this and that. No, we're just going to be living life in a place where it's like, hey, we're outside of all that, and we're not better than you. You had your chance. We're not on ships being taken away from aliens. We're doing exactly as the Bible says, and we will be exactly where the Bible says we'll be, living our lives exactly the way we're meant to be living, and you guys will all be here fighting and devouring each other like giants stepping on little people. But because I'm saying this, in the ways I'm saying it, it's not according to your Black Mirror Bible study or your people coming into the world stage talking about the world stage garbage of aliens are coming, we're going to be taken from aliens and this and that, and when the deception comes and this and that, like Ashley Hayes talks about and this and that. I got no problem against her, but everyone's speaking like they know. But if you truly knew, why aren't you speaking from the Bible? Why aren't you showing what it means to be in reflection alignment of the Bible? If you guys were real and not agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., all the Barack Obama agents that are in time, coneheads, you would be having your Bibles out showing your alignment and reflection, but you don't. Your Bible studies are people debating back and forth about religion, what's real, what's not, this and that. Everything is alignment and reflection. Just live it. Because if you truly are in alignment and reflection, you'll know where you're going. You know what you'll be doing. You know exactly what you'll be doing 100 years from now. You'll be knowing what you're doing 50 years from now. You'll be knowing what you're doing 20 days from now. You know what you do tomorrow because it's all in that book. Every moment that we live in this life is in that book. Each moment that you live is reflection. And if God knows every single hair that is numbered on your head, why wouldn't you open that Bible and truly see your alignment and reflection? Y'all are caught in the gross, all the gross parts of life, and you're denying your own alignment and reflection, wanting your likes, clicks, subscribe to me, click to me. I need to make more money. The Deuteronomies, make more money. I'm more clicks and subscribes. You won't hold your Bible out and show what it all means. You want to debate about what's real, religion, this and that, back and forth, but you deny your own reflection. As God's trying to say, this is Peter Pan moment. You're running away from your reflection. You're running away from your shadow, which is, if the shadow is God trying to run to you, saying, "Hey, come on." You're going into these disgusting, filthy things, wanting to be, oh, I know what's going to come. I know what's coming. You're wrong. You're right. This is religion. This is religion. That's religion. That's religion. This is war. That's not war. This rapture's coming. I know what's coming. I know what's not coming. Giants and this and that. None of you know what truly is or was or even what is to come. Not a single soul. Not one. Because not a single one of you can open that Bible and show it the way it's meant to be shown. Pie shown. Pie is shown through a doorway. Not windows in time, like you guys are trying to talk through windows in time. Doorways. Pie shown. That's why it shows in Genesis. Pie shown. It's just my mother's house. Mother, Genesis, when you're born, surely you have to be reborn in the spirit. Well, Nicodemus, I don't know. Like, my mother's been gone for the rest of her soul for how many years? I can't crawl back into the womb. You want to know where the winds come from and where they go. You want to speak like you know where the winds come from and where they go. If I'm breathing right now, and I pick up my dog, like I've said many times, and I sync my breath up to her breath, that's the world. My breath and her breath is the world and you. And our breaths are now in alignment. Yahweh. In, out, in, out. Pi is showing what consciousness and how the world is shaped in a way where, hey, if I show you and you know how to see that book in the way you're supposed to read it and see it, you should know your life and what's really truly to come. You wouldn't be talking about aliens. You wouldn't be talking about giants, because you are the giant in the reflection of what the giants represented in the beginning. You are the giants stepping on everybody in these little filthy black mirrors, not truly knowing what it means to be of Pi. Pi shown. Peace be with you.